Hi ladies, I am back with a tag. I have not done a tag in a hot minute. So I was tagged by Choly Flower, or Dawn as I like to call her, and this is the confessions or guilty pleasures tag. And I watched Dawn's, and if you haven't seen Dawn's tag of this, you have to go watch it. She does it with her friend Chris. He is a pretty amazing individual himself. He really caught my attention, and they are hilarious together. You really can feel the love and compatibility. Cannot say that word, but you can really see that between them, and I just really enjoyed that tag so much. So thank you for tagging me, and I'm just going to get right into it. I wrote it on a bunch of envelopes because I'm ghetto like that. So the first question is, what do you feel guilty for? I talked to Stacy about this earlier today. I have a similar guilt that she does. My father passed away when I was 17, and the day that he passed away, I was going to my boyfriend's house. It was a new relationship, so you're in that honeymoon stage. I was going to his house, and my dad didn't want me to. He kept saying that he was scared, that he didn't want me to go. Well, I had been dealing with him saying that to me for a very, very long time, and nothing ever happened to him. It was just his way to get attention, and he was a very proud man, so he didn't know how to express that. So he would always, say, I'm not feeling that well, or I don't want you to go somewhere, or I'd like you to stay. And I just really wanted to go see my boyfriend, so I left anyway. And then he ended up passing away the next day. So I always carry that guilt, because when I was on my way out the door, I remember looking at him, and I had my pillow in my hand, and I looked at him through his door of his bedroom, and he was just kind of looking down. He was really sad, and that's just like a guilt that I can never get over. I can never get over. I know that he loves me, and that he forgives me, and that he would want me to forgive myself, but like me and Stacy were talking about, you can't just flip a switch and just change that guilt. So I live with that every day. Number 2, do you put your needs before your kids, your spouse, your pets? I do. I mean, as a mother, you put your needs last. I mean, I don't exactly put my needs last before my cat, though, because he's a son of a bitch. Like, he's mean. I do love him so, so much, but I mean, of course, I feed him and do everything you're supposed to do for your animals. I don't abuse him, but I want a rub before he gets a rub. Number 3, do you get massages? You bet your ass I get massages. Not from a professional, because I'm not rich enough to pay someone $1 an hour to rub me, but my husband rubs me almost every single night. He is such a sweetheart, and his hands were from God, ladies. God made his hands to touch my body, bottom line. Number 4, do you prefer to be alone, in a large crowd, a small crowd, or in an intimate setting? I prefer to be alone. I have a hard time being around people. I have a social anxiety, so definitely not large crowds. And then I tend to get annoyed with people even if I'm one-on-one. I just really like to be in my little corner alone, and when I come out, then I can be social. I am a cat. Bottom line, I'm a cat. Number 5, have you ever stolen before? Yeah, I was a very, very bad kid. Very bad kid. Me and my sister would go to Kmart. I mean, we would pretty much go to any store my mom took us to, and we had sticky fingers. We would steal anything. I remember my mom telling me I stole a pack of purple, like, Hubba Bubba gum, the big kind that you just love when you're a kid. I stole a pack of that, and I wanted to hide it, so I decided to eat every single piece of it like a hamster when I was little, and the juice was like pouring out of my mouth, and I got caught. My mom took me back into the store and tattled on me, and so yeah, I've stolen before when I was young, very young, before high school. Number 6, share a bad habit. I smoke. That's a really bad habit. I smoke cigarettes. And I hate it. I absolutely hate it. I do not smoke in my house because the smell just disgusts me. And I keep getting told that, because it's recent that I really started hating it, and it's been since my children that I don't smoke in my home. But I think it was since I stopped smoking in my house and I really noticed the smell that it leaves in your house and on your clothes and stuff, that I just can't stand it anymore. And people keep telling me that that's like the last step before you quit. So I'm really hoping that I can quit soon because it is a horrible habit. My father died of emphysema and lung cancer, so it should be quite obvious, but it is a lot harder to quit than you think. It is a lot harder to quit than you think. Number 7, name something bad you've done but secretly enjoyed. I really don't know. Something I've done that's bad that I've secretly enjoyed. I would say like when I was a teenager, I got drunk with my friends, and it was bad, but we secretly loved it. So does that count? That's, oh, my heater is blowing. Bleh. And now on to guilty pleasures. Okay, number 1, TV shows. A guilty pleasure TV show. Honestly, you guys are gonna laugh at me so badly, but Barney. I watch Barney all the time because my son watches Barney all the time and he absolutely loves it. And I was into Barney when I was really little. I had a little Barney stuffed animal and everything. So I'm always sitting there singing the songs with them and doing the little dances with them, and we have the best time. And the other day I'm singing along and I'm singing the song, and then later on in the day I was doing dishes and I started humming the song, and I'm like, oh my god, this is not happening to me right now. Okay, and book, a guilty pleasure book. That would be 50 Shades of Grey, like everyone is saying with this. Some people saying they haven't read it and whatnot. That book's awesome. All of them are awesome. I let an old friend of mine borrow my books and never got those back, or I'd probably be reading them back to back. I absolutely love that kind of stuff. Love that kind of stuff. Those dirty, trashy romance novels, and I cannot wait to see the movie. Guilty pleasure band. I don't listen to any bands. I mean, I barely listen to any music besides Pandora. So nothing that's a guilty pleasure, nothing like that. Guilty pleasure purchases. Makeup. I have way too much makeup. I really don't need anything that I buy, but I still buy it. I mean, I justify it now with the YouTube, so I can do reviews and I can do tutorials and stuff like that with my makeup. But before, I bought makeup pretty much just as much as I buy it now, only for no reason. So makeup is definitely a guilty pleasure buy. And also lottery tickets. I have a problem buying lottery tickets, but I also have a really good streak with winning on them, so it's never really been an issue. Guilty pleasure activity. Sex is that a guilty pleasure? I don't think I'm guilty for that. Like, I don't feel guilty for that. I feel quite justified with that. But yeah, sex, activity. Eating, maybe? That's an activity, right? I eat way too much. Eating chocolate, eating snacks, and marshmallowed Santas. Oh, damn those marshmallowed Santas. Guilty pleasure is sex, pleasure, fun, gross, why bother, or private. Sex is pleasure, a lot of fun. It can be really gross. I mean, you should ask Stacy. You need to go see her tag video, because if you ask Stacy, sex is sticky and you queef. The next one is chocolate is better than sex, guilty glutton, or a treat, or you need it now. If we're talking about those goddamn Santas, I need it now. With chocolate, it's more just something that I eat as a treat when I'm about to get my period. Other than that, I don't eat too much chocolate. I am more of a, like, Sour Patch Girl. Yeah. Share the silliest thing you've gotten mad over. I get mad quite easily. I get offended quite easily, which can transfer into anger. But silliest thing. Oh, I remember. Oh my lord. Okay. So before me and my husband got married, we were having like, we had about a 6 month period where we almost broke up, but we were living together. So we were going through some things and we weren't being very nice to each other. I should probably speak the truth here and say I was not being very nice to him. And it was quite one-sided. I didn't feel like I deserved him, so I kept pushing him away. And it was around Christmas time, and he went to the store, and he had to pick up my nephew and a couple other presents for the kids, or kid, I should say. I didn't have Kingston then. I had just Emily. And he forgot to pick up my nephew's toy for Christmas, and I flipped out. I flipped out, threw our fake Christmas tree at him, a letter opener, a desk, like one of those heavy desk weights. I mean, I went all out. I mean, that's the last time I think it was the first and last time we ever had an argument like that. But yeah, that was bad, and that was all over a toy that I picked up the next day. Name someone you used to envy. My sister. I used to envy my sister when I was younger so much. She was so happy and everyone loved her, and she was so pretty, and she played basketball and she was so perfect at it. She always went to parties and had friends over, and I just wasn't like that at that age. We're only 2 years apart, so I wasn't really like her, and I just envied her so, so much. All right. Your body is a burden, a temple, or a tool to be flaunted. My body is definitely a burden to me, as is now. You all know how I feel about that, as you just recently watched my last chat spat. I'm trying to lose weight, so I do feel like it's a burden to me right now. I also feel like it is a temple, though, because I am always telling my husband, my body is a temple, and you must respect me. Next question. Your underwear is clean, sexy, comfy, or none of your business. I'll tell you about my underwear. I'll tell you about my underwear all day long. It's definitely clean. My underwear is definitely clean, but it's like all of the above. I mean, you girls, you guys know we have our sexy underwear, we have our comfortable underwear, and then we have our period underwear. So we all have a mix of that in our drawer. And I mean, I used to be a very big thong girl. I'm kind of getting out of that and wearing more bikini style, comfortable style. But my period underwear are atrocious. Like, they are the Joe Boxer, grandma, ugly print, just horrible looking underwear. They're horrible. Next question. If there's a rule I don't like, I tolerate it, break it, follow it anyway, or just disregard it. It really depends on what that rule is. I mean, if it's like a law, I might follow it. I am the kind of person that has been known to not follow rules, to break rules. Pretty much I always live by that motto, rules are made to be broken. Next question is, love is hard, sweet, shitty, is everything? I think it's every one of those. It's hard, it's sweet, it's shitty, and it means everything. So yeah, every single one of those answers is to a T exactly how love is. I think men or women, one is better than the other, they're equal, or they should know their place. This is kind of something that I was raised differently than most people, so a lot of people don't feel the same way that I feel about it, but I really feel like a man should have... I really don't know how to explain it without offending people, but I'm not really a feminist. I do believe that a man should have a certain level of head of household in the family, that he has a certain level of responsibility to take care of his family, and that warrants him to have more power over the relationship, if that makes sense. Like, I feel like it should definitely be equal, but there are some issues in a relationship or marriage that a man should be more in charge, and then there are a lot more things where the women should be in charge. All right, and the last question. My life as a whole is great, good, depressing, mine. All of those. My life is great and it's good, and it can be extremely, extremely depressing in my own head, and it is mine. So that is my tag video. Thank you, Dawn, for tagging me. I hope that you guys enjoyed this. I will have everybody that I am tagging down in the description box, so make sure you check and see if I tagged you, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.